Hello and welcome to Korean in 5, where we take 5 minutes out of your Xbox and PS4 playing and we learn some Korean. Today's topic is sort of a double topic. We're going to be talking about 형용사, adjectives. But we're also going to talk about how to use those adjectives instead of just learning how to say them. We're also going to learn how to use them in a sentence properly. All right? So first we're just going to learn 4 adjectives, and then we're going to work with those 4 adjectives throughout the broadcast. Here we go. First one is 짜다. And I have my assistant in the back today, Katie, Korean name Jiun. Say hi.
Hi, everyone.
So she's going to help me if my accent goes askew, because it could, because I'm an American. And I know Japanese better than Korean, so unfortunately every now and then that means my accent goes crazy. You just step in when you need to. So first one, let's say that again, Katie.
짜다.
짜다. Now this is a double 지읒, so it's got a stronger sound in the beginning. And let's look at sweet.
달다.
달다. Okay. I remember having a hard time with this in Korea when I didn't want sweet tea. Okay. All right. And big. 크다.
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 All right. And the opposite of big is small, which is 작다.
작다.
작다. All right. So every one of these that we just showed you, they are in what we call the dictionary form, okay, or the 타 form. So 타 form is, if you look a word up in the dictionary, this is its form that's not conjugated into anything. So let's look at it. These are all of the dictionary forms, and the things in the black right here, these are what we're going to call the stem. Okay, it's important to know that these are the stem, and we remove the da to make the stem. A lot of grammar, there's 2 types of grammar that typically will come up. One, it's stem plus something, and the other one, it's going to be this thing that we're going to teach you today called basic form plus something. So it's important to know that just removing the da is the stem. And with the da, it's the dictionary form, because there are some grammar that are dictionary form plus something. Today's main focus, though, will be this basic form, and a lot of other materials have a different name for it. They call it a, o, yo form. I don't like calling it that because basic's a much more broader term. With this basic form, later on when you learn it without adjectives, when you learn it with verbs, you can do so many things with it. But right now for adjectives, it's just going to be how to use it in a normal sentence, no stressing. Now, we're going to find out how to take any adjective or any verb, for that matter, and turning it into the basic form using this chart. And I'm going to kind of step off screen a little bit because this chart's really important. Okay, now, the way this works, this is the basic form rules for regulars. Later on, we'll learn one for irregulars. And you're going to take the remove the da. Right here it says remove the da. Then you're going to look at this A line, and you're going to determine if it ends in a ha, you'll use this rule. Then you'll start looking at if it's not a ha, and it ends in, if the final vowel is one of these, then you're going to follow these rules. Okay? So once you find your final vowel, then you say, well, is there a 받침? If there is, then you're going to do this. If there is no 받침, then you're going to modify that final character in some way. So that might not make sense right now, but it'll make sense when we walk through one. So let's go to our first one. We're going to do 짜다, okay, which means salty. Okay, so let me go to this next one here. So we're going to again use this chart, but there's too many rules on the screen. So let's just figure out, let's go back one and just look. If we remove the da, what is the final vowel? In other words, what's the vowel on that last character? It's a. So we're going to now look at this chart, and let's go ahead and simplify it a little bit here. And we're going to notice that it's in here. It's either this a or o, and both of them follow the same rule if it's a or o. So this is case number 2. Case number 2 says, okay, here we are. Is there a 받침? There is not. So we will not do this. There is no 받침, so we're going to combine a with the vowel. When it's already in a and you combine it with a, nothing changes. You still have ja. There it is combined. Okay. Later on, when you have one that has an o and you add an a, it will actually change it to wa sound instead of o sound. Okay, that's kind of an important distinction, but none of our adjectives do that today, so we don't have to deal with that. So let's look at the next one, okay? Or let's look at a sentence now. Now that we have this sentence, we can say 이것은 짜요. This is salty. You could say, theoretically, you could say 이것은 짜다. but typically you don't. When you're talking to people, you put it into this form. If you want to use the dictionary form all by itself, normally you're talking to yourself. It's something that's not said to somebody else. Like, for example, you're eating something and you go, oh, it's really salty, and you're talking to yourself. You wouldn't say 짜요 to yourself, but to your friend, you're going to say 짜요, right? Right, Jiun?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, great. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, so now we have 달다. Accents okay?
달다.
Nice. 달다. Okay, so this means sweet. And let's look at the rule. It's actually the same rule, right? It has an a. So we look and there it is. It's case number 2. Okay. Does it have a 받침? Yes, it does. In this case, it has a 받침, so we're just going to add a. And by add a, I mean literally add it after the character. And now we have 달아. Okay? And remember that when you have this iung here, this final consonant sound moves up to here, it eats the donut and takes its spot, and it sounds like 달아. 달아. Okay? All right? So we can use it in a sentence now. 이것은 달아요. This is sweet. 이것은 달아요. Was supposed to be a question. This is something that when I first went to Korea really, really bothered me. I do not like sweet tea. But when you go into the coffee shops in Korea, a lot of their tea is sweet. So I was trying to say 이것은 달아요. But the problem is I was saying 달라요. I had a double R sound, 달라요. And that means, is this different? And they're like, what do you mean? 달라요. Yeah, it's different. I don't know what you mean. So it's 이것은 달아요. Don't say the double L sound there, or it means the word different. All right, let's move on to our next one. This is big. 크다. 크다.
크다.
Okay, so let's go ahead and see. This is, finally we have a different case. This is the final. I know it's kind of hard to see because it's connected, but this is definitely the okay? So that's what we're going to look at. Now we're going to say, does it have a 받침? Does not have a 받침, so we're not going to do this rule. Now, this is the most complicated rule, unfortunately. It's very complicated because if there is a character before this, you have to look at that prior character and look at the vowel for that character and then do your change. But luckily, there is no prior character, so we literally just change the to a o. You completely remove that, change it to that, and it looks like a completely different thing because it is. Now it's ko.
커.
Ko. All right? So let's look at that in a sentence. This apple is big. Maybe you have a huge apple, so you say 사과는 커요. The apple is big. 사과는 커요. All right? And our final one, here we go. Think about this one. What is this, everybody?
작다.
Right. It means small. So let's go ahead and look. What rule would that be? What case? It's actually the same case. We've used this case a lot, but it's a very important one because a lot of things end on these. Okay, a lot of these are used in many adjectives and verbs tend to use this and it's a very easy rule. Thank gosh. All right, here we go. So 작다 has an a. Does it have a 받침?
Yes.
네, 있어요. Yes, it does have one. So add a, and I think you know that just means to 작아.
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 All right, and remember, it's not 작아. This moves to here. It eats the donut. 작아. 작아. All right, and maybe your friend said they got a new dog, and you're like, well, I don't like big dogs, so is the dog small? 걔는 작아요? Is the dog small?
걔는 작아요.
Perfect. That is it. If you would like to learn more Korean, and that specific lesson is lesson number 6 in the Korean from Zero book. You can get that book completely free, no charge on KoreanFromZero.com. You can download it as a PDF, or if you'd like to have the physical copy in your hand, and it is a beautiful book, you can get it from Amazon.com or free shipping anywhere around the world at BookDepository.com. Or if you don't like books and you don't like PDFs, go to KoreanFromZero.com and just do our online course. I'll see you all on the next Korean in 5. I almost said matane in Japanese, but I should say 안녕. 다음에 봐요.
다음에 봐요.